Good morning, all of you. Myself, Dr. Manish Chaudhary, OPGS University. Okay. Today we will start the classes of the coursework. For that, I am teaching you fourth paper, which is known as quantitative methods. Okay. Before we going through our syllabus part, we will go to the basics of our research part. For that, we will first of all we will study that the types and methods of the research. Because we all know that each and every subject have a individual methodology. For that, we will first of all study our qualities of good research. Qualities of good research. Because we are well known that at that time the PhD candidate must go through the Plagiarism report. For that, their PhD work will be good. For that, few things which are important for the good work of research. One of them is it is solution oriented goals होना चाहिए. Second one is it is helpful in predictions होना चाहिए. Third one, based on observation and empirical evidences, which is also known as review of the literature. Fourth one is well planned, because we all know that before we are starting our PhD, we will make a hypothesis where we will do work that what are the plans during our PhD work, research work. That's why it is called a well plan. Next one is objectives and logicals. In-depth study, because when we are doing our PhD, we will go as deep as in. For that, it will be in-depth study. Next one is it is a variable. Last one is it is a applications is possible. In it, the applications are possible, which means whenever we do anything, any work in PhD, we will go through the one path. But suddenly we saw that work already done, or that work is already continuously on the hand. So at that time we will be variable sites we will use to the research. Okay. After that we will go to the characteristics of the scientific studies. What are the characteristic parts of the scientific studies? It will be basically divided into 5 parts. According to first one is it will be objectively. Whatever you do, you first try to make an objective. What you have to plan, how do you do work, and where you have to publish your papers. Second one is it is known as definiteness. Third one is variability. Fourth one is universality. Universality, which means because in our world, each and every department has doing their research on their own hand. So whatever we are doing, first we will have to do work on that our literature part, where what we are doing, it is not doing by any other on the same day. Last one is it is a predictive, because whatever we have to do, it will be predicted. Because before we are starting our PhD, we will write down our hypothesis part, which is a predictive things that what we are planned to do, whether it will be done, whether it will be happen, or whether it will be not happen. Okay. Now after that we will go into the type of research. Okay. It will be dependent on various types. First one is known as according to the objective research. It will be divided in three parts. First one is known as fundamental research. Second one is known as applied research, and third one known as action research. For that, first one we will go to the fundamental research. In that fundamental research, we are doing pure or basic research to discover new knowledge, new theories, and new facts and new rules. On the other hand, second one, which is also known as applied research. Applied research. In that applied research, we have to do, it is the application of research of fundamentals, research in practice situations. Part C, it is also known as action. Action research. It is an emphasis on a local problems. Okay. Let us read again. Let us try again. What one is first one is known as fundamental research. A fundamental research is totally based purely what we have to do in a new discovery way. In a new discovery way, you will develop new theories, new facts, new truths. On the other hand, it is a applied research. Applied part is the way that where someone already done a work, you have to do again on that work on a different part. That is known as applied research. Third one is emphasis research. After that, we are going to the second part, that is according to the objective. Then second classification is the according to the research approaches. According to the research approaches, it will be divided in again two parts. First one is known as quantitative research and second one known as qualitative research. As you all aware that it will be divided into two types, quantitative and qualitative. Okay, that is we already studied that what are the meaning of quantity and what are the meaning of quality. In quantity it will be divided. It will there your work is on a large broad scale level. It will known as quantitative. If you are going to the qualitative, which means you have to work on new products, new synthesized compound, new formula, new methods. That is known as qualitative research method. As you know, first of all, we study about the quantitative research. It will be in this part, few things are required. First one is survey. Second one is export factor studies. Third one is known as experimental research. Experimental research. These three things will be conducted in a quantitative research class, because as we know that where this survey word is used, which means your data collection level will be huge. That is why it is known as quantitative research. On the other hand, when we are looking about the qualitative research work, it will be identified by the first one, historical research. Historical research, which means we can also known as a short form, that is also known as review of the literature. In that past, what type of and what kind of work already done on your research title. That is a part of a historical research. Second one is a philosophical research. It is basically known, it is a study of a system or system of thoughts. It is also known as. Third one is ethnographic research. Ethnography research, which means development of insights about the uses that in natural environment, how they interact with things. Fourth one, which is known as case study method. That is known as case study method. It is an in-depth and complete study of the case. Suppose you are working on any topic. In that way, you will take a reference. Okay. So you have to go through the in-depth knowledge of that reference part. It is known as a case study method. After that, we will go to the some other theories. One of these is known as qualitative research part. One of them is known as development research. Developmental research. Or we can also say study of changes over time. Changes over time. It is also known as development research. It will also divided in a basic three parts. One of part is known as longitudinal study. Second one is known as cross sectional study, and third one known as sequence. That is a part of first one. Qualitative research part. Qualitative research part will be divided in various 4 to 5 parts. In one of them known as development research. It is also known as study of change over times. Okay. In that part, we will go to these 3 points. First one is known as longitudinal study. Second one is known as cross-sectional study, and third one known as sequence. Okay. Other hand, that is first part. We will now go to the second part, which is known as grounded theory. Which is known as grounded theory. In that grounded theory, an initial method of developer program guideline to gather, synthesize, analyze, and comprehensive qualities data for the constructions of the theory. Okay. For short form, for easiest way, we can say in that grounded studies, we will synthesize a compound, a synthesize of something. After that, we will verify it from various their characteristics. That is known as grounded theory. It will be totally work on a laboratory. Third one is known as narrative research. Narrative which means a work which already have done before. We have to comparative study of between of them. That is known as narrative research. In that narrative research, the research aim to explore and comprehensive human experiment as it is represented in textual form. Your textual forms. Fourth, but not least, it is known as exploratory research. Exploratory research. It is also known as to explore the information about the problems which is not clearly defined. It is generally quantitative, but in some cases when sample of the research is large and data collection is done by a surveyor or experimental, it may be quantitative, which means it is a part of qualitative, but in that part the data will be collected data will be a huge level, because the data collections will be huge level. That's why it is also gone through the part of the quantitative research work. Okay, next we will go to the very important part which is mixed method design. It is sometimes it is also known as MM research. Okay, mixed method design. It is also known as sometimes mixed MM research. In that mixed method designs, few things will be happen which is identified. The first one is it is a combination of at least one quantitative and one qualitative research work. First one plus one quantitative and qualitative research work. Second important part is if the sibling of multiple research designs will have taken in that research work, then it may be purely qualitative or a quantitative. Next one, we will go to the steps of MM theory. Next one, we will go to the what are the steps which are used for the doing of MM research theory, which is known as mixed method designs. Okay. Few steps are there. First one, which is analyze the situation and determine whether a mixed design is necessary. First one, I repeat it again. First one, analyze the situation and determine whether a mixed design is necessary. If it necessary, then we will do it on that way. If it is not, then we will not do it on a mixed method design. Second one, it is also known as determine the rationale for the use of MM design. Third one, selection. Not selection, it is a section of MM design. Fourth one is data collection. Fifth one is data analysis. Sixth one is data validation. And seventh one is that is known as data interpretations. Okay, these basic 7 points, 7 steps which are we are going to go in the MM study. First one, second one is determine the rationale for the use of MM design. First, we will identify whether that MM design is required or not. If it is required, then we will apply it. After that, we will determine the rational uses of the MM design. Third one part is we will go to the section of the MM sections. That which part of we will use of the in this design. Fourth one is data collection, because it is a part of quantitative research. So data collection is necessary. Data collection. After that, once you get data, after that you will be analyze the data. After analyzing data, we will use the data validations. Whether we, from various sources we have to collect the data, we already know as there the validations. All of these steps will come. Last step will be we will go to their conclusion, where all of the data will be interpretation with each other. So we can go to the research. our the research proposal. We can also say that we will go to the what are the results of our research. Now we are going to the types of the mixed method design. How many types are there of mixed method designs? For that, from one of them we will use our the research one. According to it, it will be divided in the basic three parts. First one known as convergent parallel. It is also known as concurrent triangulation. In this design, we have to use first one, collect the data in both quantitative and qualitative methods at the same time. Second one is analyze the both data, both which means quantitative and qualitative. Third part is comparison. Compare the result of analysis of both type of data to draw overall conclusion. Okay, we will do it again. On the first part of that design, it is known as convergent parallel. It is also known as concurrent triangle. Okay, it will be in that part. We will do three things. First one, we have to collect the data in both forms, qualitative and quantitative. After that, we will analyze both of the data in separate sheet. Third or last point, which is a comparative result, and conclude the overall conclusion for both quantitative and qualitative research. First one is completed. Second part, second design of that one is known as embedded design. Embedded design. In that design section, we have to go through the basically it is a two-phase mixed method design. The purpose of this design is that qualitative data help explain or build upon initial quantitative results. Second part, in this design we start with the collection and analysis of quantitative data. The first phase of following by a subsequent collections and analysis of the qualitative data. Third part of the design is known as exploratory design. That is the first design of MM design. In that exploratory designs, we will go to first one. It is also known as two-phase mixed method design. Okay, then the intent of two-phase exploratory design is that the results of first method can help develop or inform second method. Simply way, as we know that it is a two-phase method, it will divide into two phases. First part will be helpful to take a result for the second part, and second part will be helpful for the taking result of the from first part. Now, let us have two times. Now, further it, we will go to the part. In this design, we collect and analyze quantitative data first, followed by qualitative data collection and analysis. First, we will go to the qualitative design data. After that, we will go to the quantitative data. Last one, in this design, it is generally used to explore initial questions and develop hypotheses first. Then, quantitative data can be used to test or confirm the qualitative findings. Okay, that is the basic parts of the MM designs. Now we are going to the next part. Okay, now we are going to the historical research. Because as you know, it is a very important part in our research work. Each and every part. Okay, whatever subject you have, whatever methodology you have using, but you have to go through these research part, because it is also known as review of the literature. As we know that review of the literature is an essential and very important part for doing our research work. Because for the research work, we will conclude our research programs, whether that work already done, what are the problems we will face from that side, what will be solution we will generate it from our side. For that part is important. Okay. For that, we will first of all we will go to the purpose of historical research. What are the purpose for that historical research? Because as I already said, and as we already know, it is an essential and basic point for doing the PhD. For that purpose, few purposes which I have told you, and maybe there will be variable purpose more there. So you will carry on from side. First one is known as reconstruction of past. Second one known as discovery of unknown facts. Third one is known as critical investigation of relationship between the past and present, which means whatever you do in your research work, that is quoted in the present way, and what type of work and what are the researcher goes to conclude, what are the problem faces. We will get all of these from their past. Next one is to explain the significant of past behind the problem of present time. Basically, these few points, which is we can say that purpose of the historical research. It may be variable more. Okay. Next one, we will go to the major differences with other type of researchers are. What are the major differences with other types of researchers are? Basically, first one is, we can say that it is a nature of data. Second part is methods of analysis. Third one is known as interpretation. These are the major differences with the other researchers we have to face. After that, we will discuss about the sources of historical data. Sources of historical data. It is basically divided into parts. First one known as primary sources, and second one known as secondary sources. Okay. First, we have to go to the primary sources. In that primary sources, we have to go through the documents. Oral testimony and relics and remains. On the other hand, when we are going to the secondary source, we will go to the textbook, biographies, book reviews, articles, from magazines, and last but published. It is known as, we will also do the literary criticism. Okay, so we are studying again, repeat it again. The source of historical data, it will be divided into two parts. First one known as primary source. In that primary source, we will collect our data from the documents, from the oral testimonies, and relics and remains. Okay. On a secondary source, from where we can collect our data, and we already do work on this in the review of the literature. First, we will collect our data from our textbooks. Second one, biographics, book reviews, articles from various magazines and various journals, and literary criticisms. These are the basic sources for the historical research. Last but not least for today's class, it is a topic of criticism of historical data. Criticisms of the historical data. It is basically divided in two parts. First one is known as external criticism, and second one is known as internal criticisms. First one known as external and other one known as internal criticism. In that external criticisms, we will basically originally, geniusness, authenticity of the documents. It's deal with external aspects of the documents. On the other hand, internal criticism, it deals with authenticity of the content of the document. It deals with internal aspects of the documents. In internal criticism, two types of errors are possible. In that internal criticism, there are two types of error may be possible, which are first one known as errors of good faith, which is deliberate and intentional. Second error is errors of accuracy. It is due to defective source of information. Okay, which means internal criticisms will be divided, will be occurred basically two types of errors. First one known is errors of good faith, in which deliberate and international, and second one known as errors of accuracy. It is due to the defective resources of informations. Okay, students, that's enough for today. So we will continue in the next part. Okay, thank you very much and have a good day.